Welcome, my peeps, my peoples. Please like, comment, subscribe, share the video. It'd be greatly appreciated from the bottom of my heart, my peeps, my peoples. Peep Squad is in the building, baby. We going to the top, to the top, to the top, baby. We want to bring others with us. So please become a part of Notification Squad. Peep Squad, hit that notification bell, baby. Know each and every time I drop a video and tell me what's on your mind. So let's get into it. Let's talk about the situation with Wendy Williams on Monday. April 13th on her TV show via YouTube. People are talking about Wendy Williams and they feel like she was intoxicated, they feel like she was high, they feel like she was under the influence. I don't know if that's true, but people are basically analyzing her behavior and saying that Wendy Williams was off her rockers and there was something really different about her. The blogs are talking too. There are rumors now that are out in the atmosphere basically saying that they believe that Wendy Williams has relapsed allegedly because of her behavior was erratic, it was out of control, it was downright bizarre, and it was abnormal, and people are thinking that maybe she has relapsed because she has suffered from drugs and alcohol in the past as a addiction. And so what do you guys think about the situation? I really feel like it was sad. I don't know what Wendy Williams is going through. She was really, sad, and it seems like a lot of things were bothering her too as well. And being alone in her house was another thing too as well. And she started to cry when she started to think about dying alone because she was interviewing a young man about the coronavirus and people dying. And now, she doesn't have the free will as she used to. She says she's stepping in and out the house, going shopping here or there, but she has to wear a mask and things are very different for her. So I don't know what is going on with the situation, but we lift Wendy Williams up in prayer. And I know a lot of people don't agree with Wendy Williams and some of the things that she do say, but she is an icon and she is the queen of talk. She's been doing her thing for a long time, many years, 30 years, if you go back to what she says. And it's really a sad situation where people were really, scared and afraid for Wendy Williams, because a lot of people that follow Wendy Williams and watch Wendy Williams have been watching her since God knows when. They have memories with Wendy Williams, with their mother, with their father, with their sister, sitting down watching Wendy Williams with her kids and everything else like that. And people took to Twitter and it was like, God, did you guys see what was going on? Did you see the reaction to Wendy Williams, her morning show on April 13th? There was like, something's really going on. Something does not seem right. Something looks awful. Something seems like crazy. It seems like she's slurring her words today. She can't keep her eyes open. People are just saying like, what is going on? People saying obvious she has relapsed. She has slipped and everything else. And, a lot of people are feeling a certain type of way, but Wendy Williams has been locked up in the house. She's been going to a studio for years. She's been going to work for years, and now her work is in her home, and that's something that is not, something that she's used to. And then also being quarantined in her house by herself. Her son, he's in Florida. Her parents are in Florida too as well. Her son is probably attending classes, via, online. So he's down there, and then her parents are down here. She's up here by herself. She doesn't have her husband anymore, even though good riddance to Kevin Hunter, but she's probably going through a lot of things too as well, and being stuck in the house and not just being herself anymore and recording in her home, it might lead her to, indulge in certain behaviors, maybe or maybe not. Maybe she have a drink here or there. It's totally different. Like she gets hair, makeup, glam squad, and everything else like that, and she doesn't have that anymore. She doesn't have a glam squad there, and people, like, her daily routine has been really interrupted. And when you become a certain age, you get so used to certain things and doing certain things every single day, like clockwise. Wendy don't like no surprises. She likes things to be order, and that's it. Because you see, when Nene Leakes called her, she was feeling a certain type of way. So Nene Leakes, you need to reach out to your girl Wendy Williams. And I believe now when Nene Leakes did not respond to Wendy Williams because maybe she knew something was going on, and maybe she knew that Wendy Williams is struggling, dealing with the quarantine and being in her house and being alone. And it seems like, when death came up, she was just like, I don't want to die alone. Nobody wants to die alone. And then it was this burger situation. You know, she started to cry over the burger. She wants to eat the burger. And first she was amazed by the burger. So it was a whole lot going on with that situation with Wendy Williams. And it was like 1 minute she was crying, 1 minute she was okay, 1 minute she was serious. You know, the next minute her eyes was closed. She was slurring her words. You know, it seemed like she got lost in train of thought. She forgot where she was. And she was overwhelmed with so much emotion that it was like a roller coaster actually watching Wendy Williams. So it was like this burger. She was like, I wish I can eat the burger. I wish I can just eat this burger. And it was just like really, really different. And it was not the Wendy Williams that we're used to. It's not the Wendy Williams that we seen last week, the week before. There was a whole different Wendy. And, you know, being in isolation and being by herself, and then also having, you know, past addictions, you know, that could really trigger. So she might be triggered. So people do have trigger moments too as well. And, you know, she was talking to this young lady, and, you know, Wendy was crying. She was in tears because she was thinking about the corona and dying alone. And this young lady said to Wendy Williams, it's going to be okay. It's only temporarily. And so she was able to calm down Wendy and then get her questions answered from Wendy, because it was Ask Wendy. And she said, Wendy, how you doing? Wendy said, I'm doing a mess. And it was just like, damn, because, you know, we are rooting for Wendy Williams. We don't want none of our sisters to fall to the side of the curb. You know what I mean? Especially someone that put in so much work. So, you know, I couldn't imagine a world without Wendy Williams, you know? And this young lady, you know, she came on to the Wendy Williams show, and, you know, Wendy was like, what is your occupation? And she was like, I'm a substance abuse counselor. And Wendy was like, oh, you working, you getting your money's worth. You working full time and overtime. I can only imagine. She was like, you working. And it was so kind of crazy because, you know, people assuming that Wendy is on one, that maybe she slipped, maybe she is drinking, maybe she is popping this or popping that. Is allegedly, because we don't know. We didn't see her take anything. We didn't see her drink anything. And this young lady comes on the show, and then she's a substance abuse counselor. So tell me how shit is crazy. Like, things just pop off just like that. I was just like, wow. And Wendy kind of comes together with the situation, but just it was just really hard to watch, and it was difficult because you know that she's going through something, and you can't reach out and touch her, you can't reach out and hug her. And I know people feel a certain way about Wendy Williams because, you know, she gives her opinion on different things and different topics that might not agree with everybody else, and she might not be as nice about it as people want her to be. And you know, so some people feel sorry for her, some people are praying for her, and some people are pointing a finger and saying nah, which is not good at all, because she's a human being too as well. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people know people that suffered from drug addiction and drug abuse too as well. It's actually a disease. And, you know, I had a friend when she was taking college courses, and she didn't want to really go to a AA meeting or NA meeting. She was required to because of her major. So she contacted her teacher and asked her teacher if she can actually go to a virtual, you know, NA or AA meeting. And the teacher was like, okay, so maybe that's something that Wendy Williams needs to do, or maybe she needs to get I'm not saying that she needs one. I'm not saying that, you know, she's actually involved in substance abuse or anything like that, or drug addiction right now at this time and point. In the past she has. So maybe it could be for anybody else too as well, but, you know, you could do it virtually too as well, or you can have a companion, or you can have somebody that is there next to you, because clearly, you know, she feels alone. And she's very worried and very scared too. But a lot of people had to state their opinion and what they felt about Wendy Williams. And a lot of people saying it looks like she had a hangover. She looks tired. She's crying. You know, she could not eat her fake burger. And basically there was like, this is completely ridiculous. It was like she broke down. And basically a lot of people are coming for her, basically saying that she was intoxicated. But there was a lot of people that was in support of Wendy Williams too as well. And some people were saying like, oh my God, I just feel so hurt because, she's been doing so good and so well, for a while, you know what I mean? And now to see this going on with Wendy Williams, people are worried because, she has dedicated fans, dedicated, people that been watching Wendy for a decade and watching her for years and years and years. And some people came out to support, some people came out to say, negative things about her too as well. So you guys tell me what you think about the situation. People are commenting and basically saying that, she's in recovery and she's dealing with, quarantine at the same time. Her mind can be very dangerous. She can be very lonely. And also, being in quarantine can actually trigger her too as well, where she can have a slip or basically feel like, just one sip or whatever the case may be, if that's actually the case. Or she could just be really just lonely, really sad, and really just don't know what to do because it's a scary world for her. And she's actually at one of the spots that are ground zero, which is New York, And then, people are saying, people are saying that it seems like things are off with her. Yes, she did seem very off. Like she wasn't the regular Wendy Williams that we know. She didn't have the same energy. She didn't have the same spirit. And, it was like a roller coaster going up and down. And you didn't know what to do, whether to turn off or try to reach out and touch her and hug her or say something really, nice to her too as well. And it was also, they filmed it, and it was filmed live and they aired it. They didn't take it down, so I guess maybe they gonna let it be. I don't know if they should pull the footage or whatever the case is, but I don't know if the execs or the producers of the show want this to be out there, or they feel like she's not, they feel like, everything is okay. They understand what she's going through. Maybe they know. But I don't know if they're keeping the footage up so it's good for her, or there was nothing wrong with her, or they're trying to hurt her and her reputation too as well when it comes to contract time. I don't know. But I guess, they feel like they got a real moment from Wendy Williams. But I think if Wendy wanted it pulled, can she actually have the power to pull this footage? But it was a real moment for her, whichever moment it may be. Peace and out. Much love to all my peeps and my peoples.